I'm talking about irate, irate applicants. Sanders loves to tackle them irate applicants. You laid back like you got all the crops in over there.
I got 30 acres left.
30 acres? Out of 2,000?
I can't get enough sunshine to finish.
What? It's too wet?
I like it there behind your old house, across the river.
Oh, Bob's?
Yeah.
Huckleberry Patch? That place. Have you ever been over there back in the day when it was covered in huckleberry?
I can take care of it.
I had bird dogs. He let me run my dogs over there, and I had a set. It gets so mangled up with them damn huckleberries in the ears, chest hair, and tail. I finally had to damn cut it. It looked like a corn.
Yeah, them setters.
But it was a damn. Bob apparently didn't want to, or didn't know how to get rid of huckleberries.
Well, back then, was he doing the farming?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this was back. I moved out of there back in the middle '80s. He was still farming. I was still county. In fact, he appointed me to this place. This position.
Is that right?
Yeah, when I lived there on Moran Road. And yeah, I couldn't. I'd go over there.
Early
Damn, Bob, you
Well, they used to be before we got some stuff we have now.
You got huckleberry selected? I mean, don't do anything with huckleberry?
Well, no, any broadleaf.
Well, then by all means, let's do that. I'll
You're not talking about 2,4-D.
It has to be
Well,
followed.
not in beans. Of course, they usually now we got 2,4-D resistant beans.
So you can run Roundup in there?
Oh, yeah. Over the top.
I'll be damned. It won't hurt me. Is it a special?
Well, it's built into the seed.
Oh.
Genetic.
Inoculated, huh?
GMO.
It's 5:30.
Huh? Time to go? My bad. You could give me a little more warning. Huh? All right. Agenda.
We have any skeekies?
Try you.
Okay. You got my hammer.
Oh my
forgot
God.
to damn. Oh, no, don't worry. Turn this on.
It's on.
Come to order, please. Commissioners, press your present button, please. Whew. Can we expand that screen some? Can anybody see that?
I see it perfectly. It's just, it was closer.
Oh, I see the screen, but I don't see the words. Can you blow? Thank you. Record it. Thank you. I got too much stuff. Joe, announcements.
Okay. First of all, I have several announcements. We have a number of differing exhibits in front of you, and the ones I have down, and there may be more, is item 26, items 3 and 4, which was dealing with the typo issue, and the triune plan resolution is also in front of you, which was just simply left out of the packet.
15.
And last month, I vaguely attempted to remind you of the training session that occurs tomorrow morning over at Battlefield Park regarding Planning Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals. I have tickets for that, if any of you that would like to attend, and I can distribute those after the meeting. Okay? And item last, we will be having a closed session toward the end of the meeting, just as a reminder. We will have to, I guess, if anybody happens to be left, we'll have to clear the room until after that item is heard, except for staff and the commission itself. Other than that, I don't have any other announcements.
Thank you, sir. Consideration of the minutes of October 11, 2018. Any corrections or changes? Yes, ma'am? Oh, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Prepare to vote. Vote now. Well,
If you confirm it, it undoes it, right?
Yeah.
Don't
Just
confirm
hit
it.
yes, it doesn't hit confirm.
We seem to be going in the wrong direction. Don't touch it, whatever you do.
what? All right, record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Consideration of the consent agenda. Anyone wishing to pull an item for separate consideration, please say so now. Otherwise, we'll take it as a whole. Anyone? I see none. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We begin with item 3. Burning Tree Farms, Section 1, performance bond for water, $142,500. Recommendation, reduced to maintenance in the amount of $21,375 for a period of 1 year. Item 4, Burning Tree Farms, Section 1, performance bond for roads, drainage, and erosion control, $188,000. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 1 year. Item 5, Farms at Clovercroft Farms, wastewater area, maintenance bond, landscaping, $19,300. Recommendation, release the bond. Item 6, Karen Whitford Commercial Lot, performance bond for landscaping, $1,815. Recommendation, reduced to maintenance the amount of $555 for a period of 6 months. Item 7, Kings Chapel, Section 3B, maintenance bond for wastewater collection system, $5,250. Recommendation, release the bond. Item 8, Kings Chapel, Section 5, maintenance bond for wastewater collection system, $21,000. Recommendation, release the bond. Item 9, Mike Hayes Landscaping, performance bond the amount of $9,300. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 6 months. Item 10, Stevens Valley, Section 1, performance bond for landscaping, $72,160. Recommendation, reduced to maintenance amount of $21,650 for a period of 6 months. Item 11, Stevens Valley, Section 1, performance bond for water and sewer, $819,297.83. Recommendation, reduced to maintenance amount of $20,000 until March 22, 2019. Item 12, The Grove, Section 7, maintenance bond for wastewater collection, $82,680. Recommendation, extended current amount for a period of 1 year. Dropping down under final plats. Item 24, final plat review for Daventry subdivision, Section 2, containing 24 lots on 55.57 acres located off Tullis Road in the 5th voting district. This plat is in order and staff recommends approval with the following conditions. 1, the approved HOA documents shall be concurrently recorded with the recording of the final plat. 2, posting a performance bond in the amount of $752,000 for roads, drainage, and erosion control. 3, posting a performance bond in the amount of $190,000 for water improvements as specified by Nolensville College Grove Utility District. 4, the posting of performance bond in the amount of $60,400 for wastewater collection system. 5, execution of stormwater maintenance agreement, submission of an operation and maintenance plan for stormwater improvements. And 6, that the applicant provide 2 copies of the approved final plat in DWG format on recordable media based on the Tennessee State Plane Coordinate System prior to signature and the recording of this plat.
Thank you, sir. Any questions on consent? Motion? Motion made. We have on my agenda old business, and we don't have the public hearings. Do I need to take the public hearings before old business, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Can we get our agenda corrected then?
Not today, but later.
Thank you. This is a period for public hearings. For those of you in the audience, if you wish, is anybody signed up to speak?
Not on 13.
Well, I'll go ahead with my little speech then. Our procedures are as follows. Staff make a presentation. At that conclusion, you're invited to come to the podium and give us your comments if you have signed up. Agenda item 13 under public hearings, proposed amendment to the major thoroughfare plan in consideration of the reclassification of Goosey Hill Road as a collector road. Staff?
The major thoroughfare plan in its current form was adopted by this body in December 2011. At this time, the Planning Commission is being asked to consider amendment to the major thoroughfare plan as it pertains to the classification of Goosey Hill Road. By way of reference, the major thoroughfare plan provides a framework for future road improvements based on the findings of the comprehensive land use plan. The future road improvements are compared against the amount and location of anticipated growth, and sets the framework for future rights-of-way and the amount thereof. As a part of this process, roadways are classified ranging from interstate/freeway down to local roadways. The classification system allows the county to obtain needed rights-of-way and reserve rights-of-way for future roadways and/or realignments. Goosey Hill is a north-south connector road of approximately 3.9 miles in length. Per the Williamson County Highway list, it consists of two 13-foot travel lanes with a right-of-way width fixed at 50 feet. The corridor is zoned predominantly RD1, about 70%, RD5, roughly 29%, and Hamlet, roughly 1%. The current land uses can be characterized as large lot residential and agriculture in nature. Exception to that characterization are the subdivisions of Ambergate and Waterleaf that are located in the corridor. Topographically, Goosey Hill is rolling in nature beginning at Arno Road, with the topography becoming steeper as one nears Paytonsville Road. These steeper areas are primarily located in the areas classified as RD5. No regulated floodplains are located within this corridor. In 2011, Goosey Hill was classified as a local roadway in the major thoroughfare plan. That fact did not become of interest until the Williamson County School System announced their intention to construct a new facility on Goosey Hill Road. Per section 11.03C2C of the zoning ordinance notes that new educational facilities can only be located on roadways classified as either arterial or collector by the major thoroughfare plan. It was observed by staff at that time that there is some merit in considering the reclassification of Goosey Hill Road due to several factors, including this area is one that seems to have had increased development interest over the past 5 years, as well as the fact that Goosey Hill Road serves as a north-south connector between Arno and Paytonsville Road. To the latter, its intersection with Paytonsville Road is approximately 3/10 of a mile from I-840. To evaluate this, the county's traffic consultant was asked to assess this request. Given that KCI, under their prior corporate name, was the lead consultant in 2011 thoroughfare plan, it was believed that they would offer the most knowledgeable advice available. KCI evaluated growth trends in the corridor, trip generation and distribution for current and future land use, and reviewed turning movements at the major intersections with Goosey Hill Road. It was concluded, based on the construction of the new school and expected growth in the corridor, Goosey Hill Road should be classified as a collector road with the major thoroughfare plan when updated. Staff is in agreement with this analysis. The current zoning and topography would indicate that, particularly in the RD1 zoning district, characteristics are favorable for future development. Further, introduction of this new school to this corridor will enhance those traits. Given that the recommendation associated with analysis conducted by the county's traffic consultant, staff recommends amending the major thoroughfare plan to reclassify Goosey Hill Road as a collector road.
Thank you. We're not going to open the public hearing. We don't have anybody signed up for this particular agenda item. Questions of staff? Pete?
Will this change the status of Long Lane also? Kind of like Long Lane basically, a collector road to get students down Long Lane into the school?
Perhaps so, but this was not what we were looking at the time. That, you know, part of the planning update we're about to embark on is going to have a transportation element, and that we could very well find that to be the case. Long Lane also is somewhat more influenced by not only our development patterns, but also influenced by some that's going on with the city of Franklin. So that's going to have to be evaluated as well. But we have not done that at this time, Pete.
Anything else, Pete? Robin?
So I have a question. I'm definitely for this. This is great, especially improving all the roads before the school gets there. However, my concern would be the delay in like the traffic flow on Arno and Goosey Hill. I mean, I live out there, and when I was reading through, I guess this is from Kevin Fortney, that they're not really planning to do anything on the Goosey Hill Road Arno intersection until it's about 75% capacity, which is about 1,200 84 students. That's a busy little intersection right there. It's really hard for people to turn left onto Arno Road. And I can't imagine having a school there, and a lot of parents seem to drive their kids to school in elementary. I just feel like it should be a lot sooner than 75% of capacity. But what are your thoughts? Or
Well, that has not been necessarily decided at this time.
Okay.
You know, the major portion of this analysis had to do with whether or not it was appropriate that Goosey Hill be reclassified. We will be seeing, not tonight, but at the December meeting, the school site plan, and that we can delve into that a little deeper.
address that a little more? Okay.
The practical outcome of this is that we will be with the reclassification to Goosey Hill, we'll be seeking a little more right of way when developments come in order to facilitate whatever improvements.
Okay. Very good. Thanks, Joe.
Beth?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to have a follow-up with this. I had met with somebody who lives on Goosey Road and really close to the school location in the last week. And I understand that this reclassification has to occur prior to those improvements. Is there anything that I can give in terms of information with those improvements in terms of potential changes in speed with those improvements? Is that something that comes far later after those improvements are made, or are we to assume that the speed would be pretty much, except for where it's identified closest to the school with the speed zone?
I think that once we get into the actual review of the school itself and also the road in general, with those decisions we made, those decisions as far as what the posted speed should be are in the purview of the Highway Commission and ultimately the County Commission, as they are the body that determines what the speed limits that should be appropriate. So that's something that can be evaluated as this process continues.
Right. Thank you very much.
John?
I think you answered my question, Joe. We'll have to acquire right-of-way in order for this to take place?
Over time, yes, sir.
Okay.
But that is the nature of a thoroughfare plan, though. The thoroughfare plan's immediate value for this body is, as projects come in, we're able to reserve rights of way from the individual developers as part of the developmental process, and so that's the value in at least trying to get ahead of what the whole classification system and what roads we should be, how they should be classified.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Discussion? Any thoughts?
I move we accept staff's recommendation.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Prepare to vote? Vote now. Pete? Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Public hearing, agenda item 14, amendment to Article 14 of the Williamson County zoning ordinance regarding open space strips within conservation subdivisions. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At the August 2018 meeting, this body recommended approval of a text amendment related to open space strips within conservation subdivisions. That amendment increased the distance that proposed building lots within conservation subdivisions must be set back from adjoining properties and existing public roads. Based upon some concerns expressed by members of the development community, staff has revised the language regarding setbacks from existing public roads in order to provide additional flexibility in terms of how these lots can be internalized within conservation subdivisions. Staff feels that the revised language strikes the proper balance between providing this additional flexibility and maintaining the spirit and intent of the original amendment. Staff recommends approval of this revised text amendment. Staff also recommends that the attached resolution be forwarded to the County Commission for adoption. And Mr. Chairman, if I may, just for clarity, you have in front of you the text amendment. It's titled Item 14-1. Just as a reminder, everything in Section E on the first page has already been approved by the Planning Commission, and everything in Section F1 on the second page has also been approved. The only new language appears in F2.
Can you summarize that for us?
Yeah, I'd be
The
happy to.
provisions of F2?
Absolutely. So as a reminder, in F1, the previous text amendment included this table which increased the distance that lots within conservation subdivisions have to be set back. There's a requirement for a certain width of an open space strip, and those widths are expressed in that table 1402-1. Item 2 would provide some additional flexibility under certain circumstances. And so the way this reads is that the distances expressed in the table can be reduced by up to 40%, but only if one of two things occur. Either if they can demonstrate that either through existing vegetation or topography that you simply won't be able to see the development. That's one circumstance where that could be reduced by 40%. Or if they provide a landscaping plan that demonstrates that with additional landscaping and perhaps a berm, they can create a circumstance where the homes within the subdivision will be unlikely to be seen from the public road. Then that's the other circumstance where that could be reduced by up to 40%. So we feel like either way, we're going to have a much better outcome than we've had on these, either the distance in the table, or that could be reduced, but only if we get the added benefit of the additional vegetation and not being able to see the homes from the public road.
You should note that the homes are still required to face the public road, even though they're screened, which means there's no houses on the public road side of the access in the subdivision, which gives you another 40 to setback 140 feet, probably to the, whatever. What's the front setback in that?
I think it's 30 feet.
Well, it gives you another 70 feet that you got for clearance or for screening, and it was a compromise that looked like made some sense. If you got a zero, you can't see through it type landscaping or berm or combination, then we have achieved some more rural look, to me at least. Any comments on that? Thoughts? Beth?
For helping me understand this a little bit better prior to night. I am in favor of providing staff the added benefits of looking at plans and having that ability. I guess my question is that going to be a staff decision? Or when we see plans, can we beg to differ if they're proposing some berming and some landscaping, but we're in our estimation from looking at the site that the community would be better served with a more traditional? So that's just my question. Like, I know this is going to go to county commission, but I want to be able to articulate exactly if it is going to be staff approval, if this is approved, or it's going to go to planning commission still.
Are you asking if they have the flexibility not to do it?
Well, obviously they have the flexibility not to do it. What I'm asking is...
No.
So if we approve this, what you're saying is if they demonstrate these characteristics, that they can reduce by up to 40%, but it's based on these two items. So obviously someone's reviewing that to know if Mike just said these are the two instances where this would be altered.
I think
so from Mike, I want to understand.
So yeah, the way that would work is first they have to demonstrate this to our satisfaction, just like any plans. We'll review it for compliance with zoning ordinance provisions. So it'll get through that layer first, where we have to be satisfied that it meets those criteria. But then in addition to that, we would provide the plans to you all. So ultimately, you would also have to be satisfied that it meets the zoning ordinance requirements, just like the other plans that you see.
I misunderstood you, Beth.
That's okay, no problem. No,
I thought you were asking if the staff could not enforce that provision.
No, I was just thinking in terms of I'm kind of pragmatic. I just like to know kind of how it actually works. Who actually reviews it, who signs off.
I want you to.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Questions, thoughts? Robin, you're looking like you got a question.
I'm good.
There's smoke coming out of your ears over there. Anyone?
I'm happy.
Don?
Yes, sir. I'd just like to thank staff. I think they did a great job on this and compromising for us. It's something we can live with, and I appreciate all the hard work you put into it. And I'd like
Good.
to move that we approve this.
Motion made. Steve?
Question for Mike, I would think. If there was a circumstance where a development would come in and have this particular exemption opportunity or change opportunity, would that be noted by the staff in the write-up and the report to the commission?
It would, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anyone else? Anything else, Steve?
That's all, thank you.
Just
Yeah.
was one last clarification that Mike, I thought really helped me understand this. So what I understand that this gives an option to, like, you can have a letter of an ordinance, but you don't have the tools to actually improve the buffering and screening based on topography, that this could actually provide us better buffering and screening. Am I correct in
I
that?
believe that to be true.
Okay,
yes,
thank you,
absolutely.
thank you.
You got it. Anyone else? We have a motion. Did we have a second? Okay, motion and second to prepare to vote. Vote now. Do it again, Steve. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 15. We do have a couple of speakers at this one. Resolution to adopt the Triune Special Area Plan and recommendation for endorsement by the County Commission. Staff?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Aaron's going to queue up just a real brief presentation. We sent this to you all a couple weeks ago under separate cover, so I know you've had it and have had an opportunity to look through it. But since there are some members of the public here, and since we've been working on this project for a little over a year, we thought we'd give at least a brief presentation, giving a summary of the plan. Thanks, Aaron. So just like the other special area plans that we've done, the Triune Special Area Plan is a policy document that articulates a shared vision for the Triune community. It's very much based on the values that the community has as expressed to us during many community meetings. The plan identifies specific goals, recommendations, and strategies. And then once the plan's adopted, it will form the basis for developing a tailored set of development standards that we'll start working on very soon, just like we did upon adoption of the previous 3 area plans. Also, like what we've done in the past with the other area plans, we have worked very closely with a Citizens Advisory Committee. This is a group of stakeholders in the area. They represent a broad cross-section of the community, and this has been just a terrific group to work with. They've been very instrumental in developing the plan and being a very good liaison between us and the community, and they've really represented the community very well. I'd like to just real quickly read the names here, some of whom are here this evening. The advisory committee consists of Sue Burns, Steve Clausen, Kathy Cornwell, Brian Goss, Tyler King, Sharon Puckett, Rhonda Rose, Ginger Sherling, Scott Walter, County Commission Chairman Tommy Little, our own Beth Lothers, Robin Baldry, and Sharon Hatcher, and then also Karen Emerson McPeat from the BZA. And again, we really are very grateful for their hard work and all the effort that they put in. Also, like what we did with the other plans, we placed a very strong emphasis on public involvement during this process. That's a hallmark of all of these plans. I won't go through all these in detail, but these next 2 slides list all of the public meetings that took place during this process, beginning with an open house on in September of 2017, and then culminating a couple weeks ago with an open house out in the Triune community. In total, there were 6 public meetings, most of which were very well attended, and 4 of those public meetings included specific exercises designed to allow the community to give us information about what they saw in the community, what they hope to see in the future. Just a real quick overview of the plan and how it's structured is very similar to what we've done previously, particularly with the Grassland Plan most recently. Chapter 1 is a quick introduction, followed by a pretty detailed description in Chapter 2 of the planning process, where each of the meetings and what was done at the meetings is outlined. Then Chapter 3 gives an inventory and assessment. Basically, it's a catalog of the existing conditions in the area. Rachel did a great job with the historical background, and then providing maps and figures and data related to existing natural resources, existing land uses, and other information in the area. Then Chapter 4 outlines the key themes that emerged during the first couple of community meetings, and these really kind of form the foundation of the plan, and it's a pretty good summary, I think, of what the plan is all about. Those key themes are to maintain rural character in the community by preserving open space, natural resources, and historic resources, while also providing an expanded array of neighborhoods serving businesses in the area. Limiting the size of new development and ensuring a very high level of design quality, ensuring that adequate infrastructure is in place prior to new development, and then also finally improving recreational and transportation opportunities in the community. Then Chapter 5 is the vision statement, goals and objectives that we developed with the advisory committee and with the community. It includes the vision statement that you see here. It also includes 13 kind of overarching broad goals that kind of outline what the community hopes to accomplish in the future. And then there are 33 very specific objectives of how those goals can be accomplished. The vision statement, goals and objectives apply to the entire study area, and again are based on the community input that we received during the process. And these are organized around the three plan categories of land use and historic preservation, design, character, and natural resources, and infrastructure and government services. Just like we did with the grassland plan, we have divided the study area into 4 character areas, and those are outlined in Chapter 6 of the plan. So we did this in recognition of the fact that there are areas within the study area that have their own character, their own unique circumstances and opportunities. And doing this also allowed us to supplement those general vision statements, goals, and objectives from Chapter 5 with additional recommendations that are a lot more detailed and specific and tailored for these specific areas. Just real quickly, I'll run through those character areas, beginning with character area 1 that you see in the green here. This character area generally corresponds to the boundary of the existing Rural Development 1 zoning district, and this is an area that's intended to remain a low-density residential and agricultural area with an emphasis on retention of green space and the protection of natural resources. And these are some images that simply, I think, illustrate the ideas and the concepts and the vision that the community has for this character area. Character area 2 that you see in blue on the screen generally corresponds with the boundaries of the existing village zoning district. This is intended to be a walkable area that's comprised of community-scaled retail, restaurant, and service uses. And the plan recommends that the design standards are such that when development does occur, it'll help ensure that they're compatible and the design is consistent with the vision of the community. Again, with some images that we think represent what the community is hoping to see if development does occur in this particular character area. Then character area 3, which is highlighted in yellow here, is located... I'm sorry?
6.
Well, it's Chapter 6, but it's character area 3 within Chapter 6. That's okay.
This screen is as bad as that one.
Right. Character area 3 is highlighted in yellow on the screen. This is located in the portion of the existing 840 Center district that's closest to Horton Highway. It's intended to be a mixed-use district that contains retail, office, and other commercial uses, and again with design standards that help ensure compatibility and high quality of design. And the images that correspond with this character area. And then finally, character area 4, which is outlined in the pink, is located in the portion of the 840 Center District that's furthest away from Horton Highway. This is intended for moderate to low-density residential uses, again with an emphasis on design quality and the protection of open space. And these images represent what the community envisions for Character Area 4. Chapter 7 is a brief chapter on implementation, and then the appendices, like we did last time, includes every bit of information that we obtained during all the 6 public meetings. So all of the comments, all the exercises were reproduced verbatim in the appendices so that people can kind of track the comment that they made early in the process and see how it was reflected in the plan and actually made it into the final plan. So that's a quick overview of the plan in terms of the next steps. Of course, we're asking you all to adopt the plan tonight as you have done the previous plans. Then next Tuesday evening at the County Commission meeting, we'll ask for their support and endorsement of the plan. And then once that's done, we'll start right away working with the community again to develop those tailored development standards to help implement the policies and the ideas of the plan. That's all I have. What I would suggest is that if there are questions, that maybe you hold those until after the public comment.
That'd be fine. We'll open the meeting for a public hearing on this specific agenda. First signee is Rhonda Rose. Ms. Rose?
This is where I'm supposed to be. Thank you for taking my comments tonight. Yes, I'm Rhonda Rose. I live in downtown Triune, and I've been a representative of the Triune Village on the Area Planning Committee. It's been an honor and a privilege for me to serve my community in this way and to work with our excellent planning staff that we have here in the county. As Mike so ably related, the Williamson County Planning Team and the committee met several times in open gatherings with the community to the end of developing the plan that's before you this evening. It's my belief that the key themes, the vision statement, the goals and objectives, the 4 character areas, and the recommendations that are outlined in the plan represent the desire of those of us in the Triune area to maintain our historic sites and the rural character of the part of the county that we love so much. It's my hope that you understand this final plan to be what our residents desire and that your body will approve it and adopt it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker is Penny, is it Kimley? Thank you. I was close.
Yeah, you're right on it, so that's pretty good. My name is Penny Kimley, and I live at 2954 Spantown Road. It has been a great pleasure working with my community and the planning department to develop a vision for Triune. I have attended every meeting, and I would like to thank Mike Madison and Rachel Durham for doing an excellent job walking us through the process and assisting us in developing our plan. I am happy with our plan, and I look forward in implementing our vision for Triune. I ask the Planning Commission to approve the Triune Comprehensive Plan. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That's our last speaker. We'll close the public hearing at this time. Any questions on the commission of staff or discussion? Anyone? Robin?
I just wanted to say that I thoroughly enjoyed being a part of this committee. I thought Mike and Rachel did an awesome job. Christy was there as our legal counsel if we had any burning legal questions. All the people on our committee were just awesome to work with, and I was very honored to be a part of this. I think it's a great plan. I think as the future rolls around and that area is developed, I think it's just going to be a beautiful area, and again, just happy to be a part of that. And that right off on Arrington Road community, but I feel like that's part of my community as well. So I just think everyone did a great job. They were a great committee. It's funny. Our public meetings were very well attended, as Mike said, and had so much input. And I feel like as a whole, everyone pretty much had a consensus of what they were seeing out there, which is what is in our plan. So thanks again for letting me be a part and for our great committee. It was really, really a lot of fun, and just really enjoyed being part of it. And thanks to Beth, she joined us a little later, and Sharon, and Tommy, but I don't see Tommy out here today. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Dunn.
Just, if I could, just curiosity, was there a lot of talk about changing in density in order to meet what you have down here?
There was talk about wanting to maintain low density, particularly in character area 1, the green area. We didn't get so much into numbers. I know that'll come when we develop the standards, but there was talk about density, and most of that discussion was that people out there wanted to see the low density and large lots maintained.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah?
Thank you, Mr.
You're on a
Chairman.
roll tonight.
I know, this is the last time I'm talking, I'm telling you.
No.
I just want to echo what Robin had said so beautifully, and I do want to do a plug for good government process. Because if you've been in government for a while, people out there are sometimes cynical, but when you see it at work in good form, it's wonderful to be part of that. And so what I watch is our staff really listen and collect all the exercise and the information and put it together in a professional, beautiful form that we as a committee could review and keep that process going. So thank you. I'm proud to be part of Williamson County. And thank you
Good.
for Christy for keeping us straight.
Beth, if you remember, I told you we had a really good staff.
We do. I believe it.
Anyone else? That's all? We need to vote?
Move we
Move.
accept
Motion?
staff's recommendation.
Second?
Motion in 3 seconds? That ought to carry. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Record it. The motion carried. Thank you. Old business. Y'all gonna hang out with us? You're welcome to. We don't serve coffee or anything, but you know. Old business, agenda item 16, preliminary plat review for Terra Vista subdivision, phase 1, containing 29 lots on 38.60 acres located off Long Lane in the 12th voting district. Staff?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am. You can, no, ma'am. I'm not gonna let you. You are excused. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A concept plan for this development was approved at the May 2018 meeting. The applicant is now requesting preliminary plat approval for the first phase of the development, which consists of 29 lots, approximately 11.5 acres of open space, and the wastewater treatment and disposal areas, which were approved under a separate site plan at the October 2017 and May 2018 meetings. The applicant has requested action on this item be deferred until the December 2018 meeting. Staff concurs with this request.
Thank you, sir. Motion? Discussion? Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Prepare to vote. Vote now. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 17, Sloan Farms large lot easement subdivision containing 5 lots on 38.84 acres located off Carl Road in the 9th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The subject property is approximately 39 acres in size and is located off Carl Road, approximately 3/4 of a mile northwest of Carter's Creek Pike. The applicant is requesting approval of a large lot easement subdivision in order to create 5 lots off a new 50-foot ingress-egress utility easement. The site contains a number of natural resources, including steep slopes, ridgetops, and woodlands. Approximately 72% of the site is covered in tree canopy. All zoning ordinance requirements, including those regarding the protection of natural resources, have been met. The applicant is proposing individual septic systems for the lots, and the Williamson County Department of Sewage Disposal Management has approved the request. Water will be provided by the HB and TS utility district. As no fire hydrants are proposed and as none are currently located within 500 feet of the building envelopes, the building envelopes have been separated by 200 feet. The plat is in order and staff recommends approval subject to the following. Number 1, establishment of a performance bond for water improvements in favor of HB and TS Utility District in the amount of $185,000. 2, a notice of coverage issued by TDEC will be required prior to the signing of the plat. And 3, a land disturbance permit must be obtained for the overall development. And 4, driveway and drainage infrastructure must be complete prior to issuance of building permits.
Thank you, sir. Questions of staff? Comments? Motion made and seconded. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 18. Farmstead, large lot easement subdivision containing 5 lots on 30.53 acres located off Painesville Trinity Road in the 5th voting district. Staff?
The subject property is approximately 31 acres in size and is located off Paytonsville Trinity Road, approximately 3/4 of a mile south of Meeks Road. The applicant is requesting approval of a large lot easement subdivision in order to create 5 lots off a new 50-foot ingress-egress utilities easement. The applicant is requesting deferral to the December meeting to give them more time to resolve issues with the septic systems. Staff concurs with this request.
Thank you, sir. Motion to defer. Motion made and seconded. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Record it. Motion carries. Agenda item 19. Final plat review for Rebecca Jean Smallbone et al. Property, large lot easement subdivision containing 1 lot of 5.01 acres located off New Highway 96 in the 9th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The subject property is approximately 5 acres in size and is located off New Highway 96 West, approximately 1/2 mile northwest of Old Hillsborough Road. The applicant is requesting approval of a large lot easement subdivision in order to create the 4th lot off an existing 50-foot ingress-egress utilities easement. The applicant has requested action on this item be deferred until the December 2018 meeting in order to address several outstanding issues. Staff concurs with this request.
Motion to defer. Motion made and seconded. Prepare to vote. Eddie and Beth. One more time, Beth. Good. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 20, final plat review for Donald Mingus, large lot easement subdivision containing 3 lots on 45.79 acres located off Arno Alisona Road in the 2nd voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The subject property is approximately 46 acres in size and is located off Arno Alisona Road, approximately 1/2 mile east of Pulltight Hill Road. The applicant is requesting approval of a large lot easement subdivision in order to create 3 lots off a new ingress-egress utilities easement. Action on this item has been deferred at the previous 4 meetings because additional information from the applicant was necessary in order for staff to determine whether zoning ordinance requirements related to driveways on steep slopes and slippage soils can be met. The applicant has recently provided additional information which is being reviewed by staff. Staff recommends that this item be deferred one more time until the December 2018 meeting, at which point staff will recommend denial if all issues still have not been satisfactorily addressed.
Is this deferment okay with the applicant?
Yes.
You did? Okay, thank you. Motion to defer. We're on a roll here. Motion made and seconded. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item under non-residential site plan review for Central East Elementary School on 52.66 acres located off of Ghost Hill Road, located in the 4th and 12th voting districts. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is requesting approval of an approximately 121,000 square foot elementary school. The property in question is 52.66 acres in size and located on Gosey Hill Road, approximately 1/2 mile south of Arno Road. Staff recommends action on this item be deferred until the December 2018 meeting in order to allow the applicant sufficient time to address all outstanding issues as they relate to the site plan.
Thank you, sir. Motion to defer. Motion made and seconded. Prepare to vote. Vote now. One more time, Don. Thank you. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 22, preliminary plat review for Falls Grove subdivision phase 6 containing 66 lots on 82.8 acres located off of Udaly Covington Road in the 5th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A site plan for this development was approved at the September 2005 meeting. The applicant is now requesting preliminary plat approval for the 6th phase of the development, which consists of 66 lots and approximately 54 acres of open space. The preliminary plat is consistent in layout and with that was depicted on the site plan. Staff recommends approval of this preliminary plat with the following conditions, which must be addressed in conjunction with final plat consideration. Number 1, establishment of a performance bond for roads, drainage, and erosion control, establishment of a performance bond for water improvements in favor of Millcrofton Utility District, establishment of a performance bond for wastewater collection system, submission of landscaping plans and establishment of a performance bond for landscaping, execution of a stormwater maintenance agreement and submission of operation and maintenance plan for stormwater improvements, and the submission of the final plat in DWG format on recordable media based on the Tennessee State Plane Coordinate System prior to signature and recording of the plat.
Thank you, ma'am. Questions of staff? Comments? Thoughts? And seconded. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 23, preliminary plat review Falls Grove subdivision phase 7, containing 24 lots on 17.85 acres located off Udaly Covington Road in the 5th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A site plan for this development was approved at the September 2005 meeting. The applicant is now requesting preliminary plat approval for the 7th phase of this development, which consists of 24 lots and approximately 7 acres of open space. The preliminary plat is consistent in layout with that depicted on the site plan. Staff recommends approval of this preliminary plat with the following conditions, which must be addressed in conjunction with final plat consideration. Establishment of a performance bond for roads, drainage, and erosion control, establishment of a performance bond for water improvements in favor of Millcrofton Utility District, establishment of a performance bond for wastewater collection system, submission of landscaping plans, and establishment of a performance bond for landscaping, execution of a stormwater maintenance agreement, and submission of an operation and maintenance plan for stormwater improvements, and the submission of approved final plat in DWG format on recordable media based on the Tennessee State Plane Coordinate System prior to the signature and recording of the plat.
Thank you, ma'am. Questions of staff? Discussion? Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Prepare to vote. Vote now. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 24 was on consent. Agenda item 25, final plat review for McDaniel Estates, Section 1, containing 40 lots on 322.76 acres located off McDaniel Road in the 5th voting district. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A final plat for this section of the development was approved at the August 2018 meeting. All of the required bonds have not yet been posted, and as such, the approval of the final plat is set to expire. The applicant is requesting reapproval of the final plat. Staff recommends reapproval subject to the same conditions established at the August 2018 meeting. That
was a quick one. Reapproval.
Yes, sir.
Any discussion on reapprovals? Motion? Motion made and seconded. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Record it. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item under other business, 26, the 2019 Planning Commission agenda schedule. Do we need to argue that or debate it, or can we change it?
I think it just mainly just need to adopt it because we've got a couple of them that are the second Thursday because of the holiday schedule, so just move to adopt it.
Okay. Any questions on the schedule? Is there a motion to adopt it? Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Is this on the calendar? It is. Prepare to vote. Vote now. Recorded. The motion carries. That's surprising. And item 27, Vaden et al., Williamson County Chancery Court docket number 57440. All attendees are invited to leave. We're good?
Yes, we are.
Agenda item 28, endorsement of the Comprehensive Land Use Plan Update Advisory Committee. Staff?
Okay, thank you. So each time we do a plan, whether it's an area plan or a comprehensive plan update, we always work with an advisory committee. And at the beginning of that process, we usually bring this list to you all and have you kind of bless the makeup of the group. We've been talking with our consultant on the project as well as Rogers quite a bit on this list. And so Rogers has vetted this list. Each of these people have expressed a willingness to serve, and we're just asking that you kind of lend your support to the list.
We have a motion?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is this on our list? Prepare to vote. Vote down. Record it. Oh, it didn't carry.
We'll have to vote again.
Shucks. Counselor, what do I do now? Motion carries. Thank you. Motion to adjourn. We are out of here. Thank you.
Howdy. Oh, would you mind signing this?